Yo, it's Trent. Make sure you sub, share, like, comment, all that. Hope everyone's having a good day, good week so far. And we got inhaling spray paint. And just a warning before I start this video, do not do that ever. Or inhale anything, gasoline, paint thinner, anything like that. Don't do that. Not smart. I only did it once, and it was very stupid. And yeah, let me explain that. But it was also, it was an experience, so might as well talk about it. So this was like 8 years ago. I was young. Well, no, it was less than that. It was like 6 years ago. I was 14. A little bit before high school, maybe 8th grade, end of 7th grade, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere in the 7th, 8th grade range, right? And we were just kind of all starting to think about smoking or kind of discover it, like carts and stuff like that, but none of us were really actively smoking, you know what I mean? That didn't happen till like freshman year, sophomore year. So 7th and 8th grade was a lot of like drinking wine, and I think I tried NyQuil a few times, like trying to drink all of it or a lot of it, to robo trip, but I wasn't really doing any drugs or anything like that. It was just us messing around with stuff around the house, right? Well, one day I'm home alone and I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like being sober, which is probably not a great thought for a 14-year-old to have, but what are you going to do, right? So I remember first I looked for wine, right? And I was looking, found some wine, but it was closed, right? I can only take stuff that's open or else someone would notice, so the wine left me. I'm looking for alcohol and there's like one beer in the fridge and there was some vodka, but I was scared to try the vodka, right? So I was like, okay, let me just chill out. So I go in my room, and I know I had a little bit of NyQuil, but I wasn't going to drink it because it wasn't a lot. And I was like, if I ever need to sleep, because for a while, just to go to sleep, I would just drink NyQuil just for it, even if I wasn't sick, just being like, it'll help me sleep, which it would, but, you don't want to get dependent on some random shit like that. So I'm sitting in my room and I'm Googling stuff, right? And I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm like, how can I figure out a way to get fucked up, right? So I start looking up, right? Because the Sharpies, I thought about Sharpies and how you can sniff them to get high. So I start Googling, like, what household items can you get high off of? Like, stuff like that, right? Didn't take me long to learn about inhaling things or sniffing things, right? So there's like gasoline on the list and paint and stuff like that, right? And I knew for a fact that there was spray paint in the garage, but I was scared to do the gasoline, okay? Because there was a little video online and it had a big red X and it said, never inhale gasoline, right? And I should have looked into it. If I wasn't dumb, I'm dumb just for having this even happen, just for allowing myself to do this, even if I was younger, like completely stupid, right? But it was even more stupid of me to not read about it. Like, I just looked it up to see if you could do it, but then I didn't look at, like, the consequences or the side effects, anything like that. I just realized you could get high off of it, and I said, good enough for me, right? So I go in the garage, I get this red spray paint, right? I don't know why I picked red. I think there was, like, red, black. There might have been some other ones, but I think that was about it, right? And from what I read, it said you just spray it into a rag and inhale it, right? So I was like, fucking, I can do that. And of course, I did think to myself, maybe I shouldn't do this. But then honestly, I really was thinking it's spray paint. It can't be that bad for you. Like, how can that be bad? Like, I really wasn't smart, So I sprayed it in this rag, right? And I folded it up, and then I was thinking about it, and I was nervous, and I was like, I waited a while, and I waited like 2 minutes just standing there nervous in the garage. So then I was like, okay, I should spray it again, because what if it dries, So I sprayed again, and I'm like, okay, you gotta just do it, And I knew I didn't want to get like paint on my nose or like my mouth or anything like that. So I like kind of figured out that I have to cup it and just like cup the rag over my face and breathe in, So I do that, I cup it up, and I'm like, and immediately, and this was not even a side effect, when I started looking at it when I read about it, I've heard stories where a couple people mentioned it, but my ears started ringing, just one of them. I think it was my left one. That's a weird thing to not remember if it's your left or right ear, but one of my ears started ringing. It was like, ee. It was really faint, but I noticed it. Like, it was weird, you know? And immediately my heart felt weird. Like maybe it wasn't my heart, but my chest felt like almost congested. Like I went to like, you know, like when you like clear your chest, and it was just nothing. It was just me going like what I just did, like, but it felt like something was in there. And I got lightheaded for like 5 seconds, but it really didn't do much because I only inhaled it for like a second, for like a minute, you know? But just immediate impact, it did not feel good. Like it made my chest feel weird. It made me lightheaded. But I realized, or I didn't realize, but I thought to myself, I was like, okay, if it gave me the little head feeling, maybe I just need to do more, right? But I also had that chest feeling and my ear rang for a second. And not gonna lie, the smell, like the actual smell of the chemicals got me a little nauseous, right? So I was kind of giving up on the idea, but I was like, you know what? Let me try it just one time. Just let me one time give it my full effort, and then I'll be done, you know? So I spray it up again, which I probably didn't need to do, but I lather it up there, right? So dumb. And I cut my hands on the thing, and I breathed it in for like a good 4 to 5 seconds. I was like, but I had more breath back then. I smoke all the time now, so, you know, but back then I had more breath, you know, so I was literally like, you know, breathe it in, and I go like this. I remember I like stood, I wasn't leaning down, but I was kind of like this, you know, and when I went like this again, there was like bright white spots almost going over my eyes, like it was like smearing across my line of vision, but it wasn't something like my hair or like an eyelash, you know. It was like the actual world I was seeing was like white lines. And then I got the chest feeling again, but it was increasingly worse and it hurt. Last time it just felt congested, but this time like up here it started to hurt, like almost sting, right? So I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But also, I can't lie to you guys, I felt a little something, you know, because I walked back in my house. I had to get rid of all the evidence, you know. I threw away the rag, you know, bury it in the trash, go put the spray paint away, wash my hands because there's spray paint. But while I'm doing all this, I can feel that I'm like actively, like my mind's like wandering, you know. Like I'm walking around and I feel like I'm like leaning to the right, but really I'm not. Like things like that. Like it was really faint, and it was not healthy, and it wasn't even a good high. It wasn't even like a high, if you want to call it that. It was more just feeling side effects. That's what it more was like, but they were really dangerous ones. And my chest hurting could not have been a good thing. Just thinking about it makes me uncomfortable, but you know, I did it, so I might as well tell the story. But also, I've never like fully gone in, I never went into gasoline or anything like that because I saw videos and people told me like that's bad. But I really didn't know that inhaling the spray paint would be like dangerous for my health, you know. I didn't realize you could have a heart attack, you could have a seizure, you could just need oxygen and fucking die, like all these things, right? And then also when I was looking at that, I realized that, well, I didn't realize this back then. I realized this like a year ago, basically, maybe a little longer, when I was in Florida. After we did whippets for a while, I realized that's inhaling stuff. That's like not the same thing, but you know, dangerous and stupid and inhaling stuff. Like I realized they're in the same group, you know. But okay, hope you guys enjoyed. Do not do any of those things. Don't do what I do. Make sure you sub, share, like, comment, all that. Hope you guys have a good day. Not a good idea. I mean, I hope you have a good idea too, but have a good day. Check out tomorrow's story, and peace out.